I'm Garrett Liff Weiss, and welcome to this week's SVSN broadcast. And we have Taryn Smith with us today.
How are you?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm great, thanks.
Unfortunately, Molly Armstrong could not make it to this week's broadcast.
So Garrett, I don't know if you've heard, but there's a new outbreak of the Zika virus that originated in Brazil, but there are now cases in Ohio. And Hannah Lamerson has more on that. Out to you, Hannah.
Thanks, Taryn and Garrett.
Here in Ohio, we've contracted our third and fourth cases of the Zika virus due to our citizens traveling and returning back to our state. According to CDC.gov, approximately 1 in 5 people infected with the virus become ill. The illness is not very harsh and usually only lasts days or a week. Symptoms include red eyes, rash, joint pain, fever, muscle pain, and headache. The virus only lasts about a week in the bloodstream. The disease isn't deadly and has the most harsh effects on pregnant women. During pregnancy, the virus can be transmitted to the fetus. The Zika virus can cause birth defects such as congenital microcephaly, which causes the baby's head to be smaller. To prevent the Zika virus, wear long sleeves and long pants and use insect repellent.
Hannah Lamerson here with SVSN signing out.
Thanks, Hannah.
Thanks, Hannah, for that informational report.
Alright, Taryn, since the middle school spelling bee is coming up, I have a little word for you to spell.
Do you?
Yes.
What is this?
Obstinquitious.
Obstinquitious? Well, it probably starts with an O.
Yep.
O-B-S-E.
No.
No?
Wrong.
Well, I bet I know who could spell that.
Who?
The Zons Corner Middle School spelling bee participants.
Probably could.
Alex Waddle has more on that. Out to you, Alex.
Hello, I'm here with Spelling Bee participant Lydia Waddle. How are you?
I'm good.
What grade are you in?
I'm in 5th grade.
I heard that Zon's Corner had a spelling bee not too long ago.
Yep.
How'd you do?
I made 3rd place.
That's awesome. So does this mean you'll be going to county?
Yes.
Are any of your friends participating in this county spelling bee?
A few of the kids in my grade, yes.
That is awesome. What are you doing to prepare for the county spelling bee?
I'm going to every practice and studying at home.
That is awesome. Well, congratulations to all the spelling bee participants and good luck at county.
Thanks, Alex, for that spelling report.
And thank you, Lydia, and good luck. So, Taryn, do you know what month it is?
Month?
Yes, month.
July?
It's actually February, but in February it is Heart Health Month.
Really?
Yeah, so
I didn't know that.
so you need to keep a healthy heart for February. Just
That makes sense because, February is Valentine's Day and you get mushy gushy hearts from your lover.
Yeah.
But I didn't have one of those, so.
That might not be the real reason, but we will figure out why and what you should do, and
How to keep a healthy heart.
yeah, because we have Kennedy Meredith. I think she's interviewing her mom because she's a long word that I don't know what it is, but she knows a lot about the heart. So, out to you, Kennedy Meredith.
Thanks, Garrett and Taryn. So February is Heart Health Month, and I got the chance to interview someone who knows a little more about it. Hi, I'm here with Shauna Meredith, one of the cardiopulmonary managers at Adena Health System in Chillicothe, Ohio. How are you, Shauna?
I'm great. Thanks, Kennedy.
Good. So what is Heart Health Month?
Heart Health Month is a month dedicated to raise awareness for heart disease.
And what exactly is heart disease?
Heart disease is when plaque builds up around the walls of your arteries, and then this buildup narrows the path of blood, which is needed to fuel the heart.
And are there any symptoms of this?
Yes, there are actually chest discomfort. You can have nausea, break out in a cold sweat, and even lightheadedness.
So is there anything we can do to prevent it?
Eating heart-healthy meals, exercising regularly, avoiding tobacco, and seeing your doctor.
Well, thank you so much, Shauna, for your time. And is there anything else you'd like to say?
Go red for heart disease and the red streaks.
You heard it, folks, straight from my mom. I mean Shauna Meredith. Back to you in the studio, Garrett and Taryn.
Thank you, Kennedy.
Garrett, do you like nachos?
I like nachos.
What type of nachos do you like?
Nachos.
You like meat on them?
I like meat on them, cheese, tomatoes,
Sour cream?
sauce, sour cream.
You like all of that?
I love all that.
Well, you know, SVSN's very own B-Daddy likes nachos too.
Does he?
Yeah, and he has more on nachos. Out to you, B-Daddy.
Nacholistic.
Hey everybody, and welcome to Brunch with B-Dad. And it's that time of the year where I gotta tell you a story. And this story takes place when I went on the Streaks and Geeks trip after my 8th grade year, which Mr. Clinker and Mr. J. Will, that was a really good trip. And you know, we stopped at Denny's, and I want to tell you about my experience I had with eggs. Okay. The trip started at about 4 o'clock in the morning, and I kissed my parents goodbye, and we pulled out of the high school and went on our way, and I believe it was on our way to Gettysburg. Yeah, it was on the way to Gettysburg, which is in Pennsylvania. So you know, we're driving through, we hit Pennsylvania, it's about 9 o'clock in the morning, and on the itinerary, it said we were eating at Denny's. And we saw Denny's, and we stopped there. And it was like 9:45, 10 o'clock maybe. And they were having this special, like they have specials, and it was like, order like pancakes or waffles, and you get like bacon or hash browns and eggs. You get like bacon and hash browns and eggs and sausage. You get like 3 of those sides to go with your pancakes or waffles. So one of my sides was eggs. And you know, I ordered the eggs. And then what happens next? I mean, it's pretty funny. I mean, you know, it's funny. Okay? So the waitress walks up to me. She says, how would you like your eggs cooked? And you know, I'm only 15 years old at the time. And my parents didn't educate me on how you order eggs at a restaurant, because I had no clue. It was the first time I'd been off alone on a trip without my parents. So, you know, I go to my steak skills, like how you order one well done, medium rare, and stuff like that. I go to my steak skills. And you know, I start thinking. And so I think a little hard, because I like my steak well done, alright? And I figured you can order eggs that way too. So I was thinking there, and I was like, well, if you take the well out of the done, you just get done eggs. So the lady goes, how you like it cooking? And I'm like, done. And then the lady, she looks at me like I'm stupid, and I got my friends laughing at me and everything all across the table. The lady thinks I'm stupid, and she's like, well, sir, what do you like those, scrambled, or what do you like them, scrambled, or what do you like made like an omelet or sunny side up? And I'm like, you know, I like to have them scrambled. And then the lady just walks back and places the order in, and I got my eggs, and they were scrambled. But the moral of the story is, if you're going to order eggs, don't order them like a steak, and don't order them done, because waitresses will just look at you stupid. And you know, ever since then, I ordered eggs at restaurants, and I always ordered them scrambled, and you know, it just turns out to be good. I mean, order them scrambled if you don't know what to do. So, if you ever go and you're in doubt, order your eggs scrambled. This has been Brunch with B-Dad, and let's send it back to the studio.
Thanks, B-Daddy, for that tasty report.
Alright, well, now we have the always educational Ruthie, and she's going to be talking about financial education.
I wonder what that is.
I have no clue. Let's figure out. Out to you, Ruthie.
Thanks, Taryn and Garrett. Financial education is an important life skill for participating in modern society. According to OECD.org, children are growing up in an increasingly complex world where they will eventually need to take charge of their own financial future. As young adults learning to live independently, they will need to know how to budget and make wise financial choices for everyday living. Dr. KCC says including financial education into the school's curriculum in an ongoing manner would hold the key to making our future generations financially literate. National surveys show that young adults have amongst the lowest levels of financial literacy. Even from an early age, children need to develop the skills to help choose between different careers, education options, and manage any funds they may have. Whether from allowances or part-time jobs, these funds may entail the use of saving accounts or bank cards. In 2005, the OECD recommended the financial education start as early as possible. It is a long-term process, and starting at an early age allows children to acquire the knowledge and skills to build responsible financial behavior throughout each stage of their education. Back to you, Taryn and Garrett.
Thank you, Ruthie. Now, Taryn, I don't think you realize, or if a lot of other people realize, but most of us are going to be turning 18 soon. You know what that means?
That means you can vote.
It
Who
does.
are you voting for, Garrett?
Well, that's very top secret.
Oh, is it Trump?
No.
It's not Trump.
No.
Who?
You won't be able to vote, though.
No, I'll only be 17.
You're like 12.
Yeah, I'm basically 12. But we'll see who's leading in the presidential debates and find out more information about the presidential debates. Molly Armstrong has more on that. Out to you, Molly.
Thanks, Taryn and Garrett. Here's an update on the current presidential campaign. 2 Democrats and 5 Republicans are still in the running for their party's 2016 presidential nomination. On the left side, former Secretary of State Hillary Clinton and United States Senator Bernie Sanders are competing for the Democratic Party nomination after 4 others dropped out of the running. Sanders and Clinton largely agree that minimum wage should be substantially increased, college students shouldn't have to take on so much debt, Wall Street needs further reforms, healthcare should be universal, and the wealthy should pay substantially more in taxes. The 2 differ on issues of offshore drilling, fracking, and increasing defense spending, all of which Clinton supports while Sanders opposes. Many voters support Sanders given the fact that he has had a long political career without scandal, while Clinton's email scandal is still in the back of everyone's mind. However, Sanders has earned the trust of young voters in the country, while his self-proclaimed title of being a democratic socialist and promise of benefits that require increasing taxes for all classes may scare the more mature voters. On the right side, retired neurosurgeon Ben Carson, United States Senator Ted Cruz, Ohio Governor John Kasich, United States Senator Marco Rubio, and real estate mogul Donald Trump are all competing for the Republican Party nomination after 12 others dropped out. All the nominees oppose expanding Obamacare, while 4 out of 5 disagree with placing higher taxes on the wealthy, Trump being the exception, and support privatizing Social Security, Rubio being the exception. Kasich, Rubio, and Cruz support expanding free trade, while Carson and Trump oppose it. While Cruz defeated Trump in the Iowa caucuses, the recent South Carolina primary gave voters an idea of how the competition is going, with Trump easily winning the vote and Rubio edging out Cruz in a close battle for second. Kasich and Carson were far behind in South Carolina, raising questions about the long-term prospects of their campaigns, though neither show any interest in dropping out. Trump is receiving heavy opposition from many traditional Republicans who fear he is too brash to win the general election and could get in the way of other grand old party candidates. Trump's comments about Mexican immigrants, women, and critics in general scare many voters, though poll numbers show he still has the support of many. Overall, with the time dwindling down, we can expect more Republicans, likely Carson and Kasich, to drop out of the running, and a close race between Sanders and Clinton to continue. Back to you, Taryn and Garrett.
Thanks, Molly, for that report. So, Garrett, you're in the musical, right?
Yes, I am.
How's that coming?
Well, as you know, we're doing Mary Poppins, and Mary Poppins is a very extreme musical. It's very hard, and you need the right people to do it, and I think we have the right people to do it, and if we keep on working as hard as we have been, we can make it look fantastic, like we do every
year, yeah.
Which it's going to be a lot harder from our previous musicals, but we can make it great. And I know we already did a interview with Jesse Havlitzer, which is our director, but Haley Pratt has a follow-up on musical since we came so far. Out to you, Haley.
Thanks, Taryn and Garrett. The Piketon High School musical cast and crew have been hard at work preparing for this year's musical, Mary Poppins. Show times are Friday, March 4th at 7 o'clock, Saturday, March 5th at 2 o'clock and 7 o'clock, and Sunday, March 6th at 2 o'clock. Tickets can be reserved or purchased at the door, all costing only $7. Be sure to come see all the hard work and, of course, the little magic that has gone into this year's production of Mary Poppins. You don't want to miss this show. Back to you, Taryn and Garrett.
Thank you, Haley. And if you guys aren't doing anything March 4th, 5th, or 6th, you need to come and see Mary Poppins. Even if you are doing something, make plans, you know?
Yeah.
It's a great.
It's a great show. It's gonna be a great show. So Garrett, here at Piketon High School, we have a club called the Top 20, Top 25 ACT Club. And if you score a 20, you're a 20 or above, you're in the top 20 ACT. But if you score a 25 and above, you're on the top 25 ACT club, right?
Yep.
And Sarah has more on this report, including members of the top 20 and top 25 ACT club. Out to you, Sarah.
Thanks, Taryn and Garrett. The ACT Top 20 and Top 25 Club is a way that Piketon High School congratulates those that did exceptionally well on the ACT. As the name suggests, any person that gets a 20 or higher on the ACT is in the Top 20 Club. Likewise, anyone that gets a 25 or higher is in the Top 25 Club. Members in the Top 25 include Bryce Odell, Autumn McAllister, Alex Bond, Braylee Spencer, Madison Conley, Amber Reno, Emily Dean, Sarah Gilman, Taylor Spencer, Molly Armstrong, Cheyenne Burks, and Timothy Gerard. Members currently in the top 20 include Alyssa Smith, Gabe Berkheimer, Andrew Thompson, Riley Harris, Destiny Smith, Noah Hardman, Erica Scott, Matt Smith, Brandy Carson, Christy Wilkinson, Sydney Flusher, Tristan Williams, Adam Manbevers, Emily Legg, Cassandra Berry, Sammy Grooms, Carrie Ryder, Kaylee Good, Casey Moore, Alec Taylor, Bailey Reeder, DJ Graham, Hannah Rigsby, Meg Olawala, Devin Newman, Noah Neer, Haley Pratt, Samantha Neal, Madison Burkett, Austin Parfit, Zane Wolf, Stephanie Hostetler, Holly Kokenauer, and Summer Cooper. Congratulations to those that are in the top 20 and top 25 ACT clubs. I also sat down with the two students that had the highest ACT scores at Piketon High School, Braylee Spencer and Madison Conley, to see if they can give some advice on how to do well on the ACT. When asked how they prepared for the ACT test, they both said that they took prep classes and also very many practice tests. In addition, Madison had a PHS graduate help her to study for the mathematics portion. When asked what they felt the most difficult part of the ACT was, they both answered that the science was the hardest. Madison advised to manage your time well while taking the science section. Braylee also felt that the mathematics was very difficult as well, and advised that taking practice tests and reviewing the answers that you got wrong also helps. My last question was if either had any further advice on how to help students improve their scores. Madison answered that her reading in her spare time helped her very much on the reading tests, because not only does it help to improve your vocabulary and grammar usage, it also helps to improve your reading speed to the point where you might not have to skip any passages on the test. Braylee answered that while it's hard, try not to stress, but it's also okay if you do. Also, crying is acceptable, though not recommended. A big thank you to both Braylee Spencer and Madison Conley for that wonderful advice, and good luck to those that are taking the ACT in the future. I'm Sarah Gilman, SVSN.
Thank you, Sarah, for that report on the top 20 and 25 ACT club.
Alright, so since we were out for so long, we're going to have another one of everyone's favorite. We have Brunch with B-Dad, but now we're going to have Word with Wigsy. It's great. It's overwhelming. I don't think
Two in one show?
I don't think people will handle it. People are probably freaking out right now.
Yes.
So, out to you, Wigsy!
means splendid. I love the movie Home Alone. They live in such a splendiferous house. I wish I could be at that home in Chicago.
Thanks, Wigsy. Now, Taryn, it's been an honor to anchor with you.
Really?
Yeah.
You're my best pal.
Goals. We're anchoring goals.
Yeah.
Now, next week I'm gonna have to sit here with Molly, and it just won't be the same.
I know, I'm gonna miss you.
Yeah. Maybe you can.
Maybe I'll be a star on the anchoring. Maybe.
Maybe you might stay here. People might vote you. We might get a lot of views because of you, or we might get a lot less views because of you. But you know.
I don't think that's possible.
Doesn't matter.
Well, that's all we have for this week's SVSN
depressing.
news, right?
Yep. It was a long one.
We're gonna send it on out to the sports team.
Shoot it on out to this folks team.
You know, I never was a basketball player.
Well, you are a powerlifter though, so let's lift it on out to the sports team.
Woo!
Welcome back to this episode of SVSN. I'm your sports anchor, Gabe Berkheimer. And I'm your other sports anchor, Bradley Sickles. And we have senior night. Senior night. Now, Gabe, Brad, we are both rocking the Eagle of America look. Brad, yes, Gabe, you look very good. I agree. That's strange that we both wear American Eagle sweaters on the same day. You know what that's called, Gabe? Ironic. Out to you, Bryce and Eric. More on senior night.
Thanks, Brad and Gabe. And I got covered for the boys' senior night against Huntington.
Thank you, Brad and Gabe. I got coverage from the girls' senior night versus Notre Dame.
On Friday, February 5th, it was senior night for the boys' basketball team as they honored Patrick Jenkins, Cameron Chitwood, and Cody Vogelmore. The Red Streaks led all four quarters, 10-9, 23-15, 38-31, and ended the game with a final score of 59-49. Stats from the game were Cody Vogelmore with 14 points, Travis Beach also with 14, and he was 6 for 7 from the free throw line, Casey Moore with 10 points, and Bryce Liddell with 8 points. It was a great game, ending an excellent career for the seniors. Now back to the studio. Back to you, Brad and Gabe.
Well, that was a very interesting topic. It was. Now let's talk about the Red Streak season right now for basketball. You know, Brad, they took on Adina the other day and came out with a very heartbreaking loss. I believe it was 3.4 seconds left, and Adina was down 2. Down 2? Down 2. Don't tell me. And yes, I'm sorry, but they inbounded the ball about 47 feet out. Well, Gabe, can you describe to me how this shot went? Like, can you show me like right now? I can give you a visual sound of what it sounded like when the ball hit the backboard. Okay, all right. If you listen quietly. I see. It's very moving for the other team, but heartbreaking for us. It was a sad way to end the season, Brad. But we did have a good senior night. That's good. We did, and I think if they just put their heart and soul into their playing abilities, then they come out with a good season. It was good. It was fun. They played with integrity, and that's what matters. That is what matters. And that's all we have for today. I'm your sports anchor, Gabe Berkheimer. And I'm your other sports anchor, Bradley Sickles. And to all you out there in the valley, keep Keep it classy.
I know what to say. I was just making sure you were ready. What should I say? Thanks, Alice.
They both answered that the science was the hardest they felt.
Emily Meredith, my dog, how are you